Oh, yes, traders. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. Woo! Oh, yeah, let's get ready, guys. Love it. All right, traders. Just a minute or so more, and we're going to delve into some very interesting things. I'm going to talk to you today. I want to talk to you. I want to take some of your questions. I want you to get to know me a little bit better. Hopefully that'll be interesting to you. This event's going to be held in 3 different languages, traders: English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Now let's make sure that you are in the right location for your respective language. Get some handy questions ready. I'll try to do my best to take a good portion of them. You can ask anything your heart desires. All right, traders. All right. Welcome to another live session with me. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my world, I guess I should say. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope many of you actually are interested in the world of trading, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. I also hope that a good portion of you actually had the ability to attend my last mega free event last Saturday, and it was extraordinarily special. I did my very best to make that event the very best event that I held all year, and if you did not participate in that event last Saturday, I strongly encourage that you do so. It is obviously still available to view. And I'm always telling you that every time I'm offered the opportunity to have a little bit of your time, whenever I'm given the privilege of speaking from a stage or I have a mic in front of me, I do my very best to leave something of value that I believe that my listeners, my followers, my attendees can utilize in the markets, in their daily trading for the rest of their life. That is my little pet peeve with myself. That's the promise that I sit down with every single time I'm afforded this opportunity with you. Now, today's going to be a little bit different. This is sort of a meetup. This is akin to us grabbing a chair in a Starbucks or something, or a coffee shop, and just sitting down and talking. So I want to have the ability to answer some of your questions. The questions have been pouring in hour by hour for us, and I felt this might be a good event to sort of get a good proportion of the most frequently asked questions out of the way. And I am privileged to have a lot of people sort of connected with me over the past several months who really don't know very much about me, my history, what I've done in this industry, what I'm doing now, and why I'm doing it. So I do want to touch upon those things as well. Guys, okay? So why don't I just start off like this? I want to for the benefit of those who have no idea who I am, traders, some people might consider me one of the pioneers of the active day trading space in particular. And the reason for this is because I started my professional career on Wall Street in December of 1986. So December 6th of this year, we're only a few days from my anniversary, which sometimes I celebrate. December 6th is my professional anniversary, and December 6th will mark the 34th year that I have been in the professional arena of trading. Traders, I placed my first trade ever when I was 15, almost 16 years old in 1981, March of 1981. I became fascinated with the markets, and I realized back then, traders, that this was something so special that I didn't want to do anything else in life. And I'll tell you something quite personal. My family, my mother and father, had invested their entire parenthood years, or the years that they were parenting me. They dedicated those years to making sure that I would become a professional pianist. That was the dream for me on the part of my parents. And from the age of 3, my parents actually invested heavily in my career, or my future career as a pianist. I started at the age of 3. By the time I was 8 years old, I was playing venues as a pianist, and actually earning money. I traveled throughout the United States. I was involved in all sorts of special programs for piano prodigies. And there was a group of us, about eight special children, that basically traveled the country in a specific program, playing the piano professionally. And the vast majority of my childhood was dedicated to this one activity. I basically was in church. My mother made sure of that most of the days of the week. And I practiced piano for 4 to 5 hours a day for the vast majority of my childhood. A lot of people don't know that, but at the age of 15, something happened. 2 things happened. Number 1, I discovered girls. So I got to this place where, wait a minute, practice piano for 6 hours today, or hang out with some girls. That sort of put a wrench, a little small wrench into my practice hours and my interest in continuing my piano studies. But more importantly than that, traders, I'll be honest with you, was my discovery that my father had made a huge score and dramatically changed the way we lived. My father had made a huge score in the gold market. Interesting story. And he took the advice of a client of his. My father was a taxi driver and had one special client that he drove to Wall Street every single day from Brooklyn, New York. And this person told him, listen, Dwight, my father's name was Dwight, you've got a newborn son. This is my advice. Every single week you buy 1 ounce of gold. All right, gold is at a price fixed of $35 an ounce. He said, I don't believe it's going to stay fixed, and if and when they unfix the price of gold, if they deregulate the price of gold, gold's going to shoot up. This is going to be a potentially big score for you. My father took that advice and for years actually accumulated quite a decent amount of gold. Well, lo and behold, the price of gold had ultimately become deregulated back in the 70s. Gold ran dramatically from $35 an ounce to over $800 an ounce, really changing the trajectory of my entire family. My father hit a huge score, and I was too young to really understand why my school changed, why my life changed, why the state that I changed, why did our cars change, why did my clothes change, why did we seem to start life all over again? And I was too young to understand it, but I discovered the reason at 15. And I came to this conclusion that if my father could do this for our family with 1 score, I wanted to do this all the time. And I investigated and found out there was a way, there was a possibility to be a trader, to do this for a living. And boom, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. And when I placed my first trade ever, I called up my broker. I opened up a small brokerage account. You had to call back then. There was no computerized trading or anything like that. Placed my first trade. My first trade was for 12 shares of a company called Eli Lilly. I'll never forget it. And I was debating whether I should do 10 shares or 12 shares, because 12 shares would wipe out the entire account, bring it to zero. But if I bought 10 shares of this stock, it would leave a little bit of change in the account. And I decided, let's just put it all in. Crazy. But I was hooked. And I will tell you, traders, that from that day onward, I've never done a single thing in my life. I am 54 and a half now, more than 54 and a half. I'll be 55 in February. And from that day, at 15 years old, I never have done another activity in my life. I've never had another desire to do anything else. I have never had a plan B. I never wanted anything else in life but this from the age of 15 years old. I have never permanently worked for anyone in my entire life. My dream, my goal from the age of 15 has always been to be a professional market participant. And while my beginning years of achieving that, becoming that, were not easy, while I went through hardships, while I disappointed my parents, I crushed them with my leaving the world of professional piano playing to this world that my parents felt or believed was just gambling. It was not easy during my first 6 years of trying to really go in this direction and do this professionally and do it the right way. I entered college and took up accounting, not because I wanted to become an accountant. I took up accounting because I felt that was the closest topic to help me be able to pick apart a company, to find out how companies operated, what made them tick, how they made their money. I wanted to be able to pull a company apart and put it back together, only because I felt that that would help me in my daily market activity. And it took me 6 years to actually turn the corner. So I went through 6 years of constant losing, 6 years of being destroyed, 6 years of blowing up accounts, 6 years of losing a tremendous amount of money. And because I did not have access to a huge amount of money, traders, I borrowed it. I borrowed it from family members who remembered what happened to my father and felt that I was going to be the next star. I borrowed it from friends of family members. And at the end of the day, after a 6-year period, I was negative before I turned the corner, before I started tasting progress and having my first glimpses of success at this. I was negative over $700,000. That's right, $700,000 negative in the hole. And I had to pay that back. But I did not make a turn, and I did not see any progress. I did not see any light. I did not see any hope, which made it very difficult to continue every single day until after 6 years. It was crazy. That fateful day, December in 1986, I was accepted by a firm on Wall Street and had a fairly illustrious career over 8 years. And that's a long time on the street, by the way. 8 years, I did extraordinarily well and better each year. And I got so good that my reputation on the street began to spread. So other firms began to invite me, traders, to their firms to speak to groups of their traders. We would do this after the open. And so over a period of time, many of the traders on the street and many of the firms throughout Wall Street got to know me. And this led me to wanting to start my own advisory company, wanting to start my own money management firm, which I did in September of 1994. So 8 years into my professional career as a trader. Traders, I'll show this to you very quickly. See if I get this right here. In 1994, I started a company called Pristine Capital Management. And again, this is just to give you a little background. We're talking, guys. We're having a cup of coffee together, and I'm giving you a little bit of my background. And largely, I want you to understand why I believe I have a right to speak to you, why I believe I have a right to raise my hand and say, let's do this together. I have a right to guide you. I have a right to be your mentor. And a lot of people don't have that right. They assume that right, but they don't really have it because they haven't earned the right to be a guide for you, to be a mentor as it relates to professional trading. So guys, in 1994, I started this company called Pristine Capital Management. Now, many people will know this company today as Pristine.com. Over a 12-year period, I grew this company into an international powerhouse. It became one of the top-ranked trading organizations in the entire industry. Guys, in 1998, Barron's ranked me and my firm #1 in America and stated that if you want professional trading services, if you want professional trading anything, you go to Oliver Velez and Pristine. And that was one of the greatest honors of my life, to be ranked #1 in Barron's, which is the institutional Bible as it relates to this industry, traders. A year later, Dow Jones would dub me the Messiah of trading. And in 1999 and 2000, 2 years back to back, the trading industry in 1999 started its first international expo, the very first one in 1999, and they chose me to be the representative of the entire trading industry. I gave the inaugural keynote speech. That speech became a very famous speech that continues to float around the world today. And in that speech, I predicted many things like no commissions for retail trading and direct access trading directly from your computer without the need for anyone in between you and the markets. These were predictions of mine back in 1999 that we saw came true. I had that honor again the following year in 2000, and I was given that honor once again this year in, I believe, March of 2000, or April of 2000. 2020, I should say, this year. I am also, traders, the author of 5 international best-selling books on the topic of trading. These 5 books, traders, are written in 5 different languages. My books are written in English, Spanish, German, Mandarin, and Japanese. And these 5 books continue to be the biggest selling trading books of all time. And I will tell you that that is not by any mistake. Now, I don't want you to, traders, I don't want you to take this as me bragging, because that's the last thing that I don't want this to come off like that. But I do want you to understand that there is a certain pedigree that I want you to know that you have in me. You are not speaking or dealing with someone who just came on the scene 2 years ago. You're not dealing with someone who discovered trading 4 years ago and is claiming to be an expert. You are not dealing with a 27-year-old who claims to be able to know how to make millions of dollars in the market. For whatever reason, our industry today seems to be full of that. And I want you to understand that that is not what you have here. You have one of the pioneers in this space. You have someone who is recognized as being one of the pioneers, who has been lauded, who has been awarded, and who has been extraordinarily active in helping to build this industry brick by brick over the past 3 decades. Now, I'm not going to say I'm the only one in the industry with that pedigree, but I'm one of the very few that's left today. So that is what you have in me. Today, traders, I sold my company, Pristine, to go on to do something which I thought was actually more special, and that was to really make come true my ultimate dream, my ultimate goal, which is and was and is to bring professional style Wall Street to Main Street, to bring professional style trading that I've done most of my life to virtually every single regular human being that has access to a laptop computer or a desktop computer and an internet connection. I believe, traders, that trading is potentially one of those solutions to all of the world's social ills. There are 3 dominant lacks in this world. Well, 4, depending upon how you look at it. But there are 3 to 4 major lacks. These lacks are what divides the world into certain classes. There is a classist system that exists, and it's these lacks that create that classist system. Number 1, there is a lack of education and training. Now, we all know that traders, those who are educated and well-trained, live a very different life and are regarded as very different individuals than those who are uneducated and untrained. The uneducated and untrained in this world, on this planet, will live very differently and will have a very different set of opportunities from those who are well educated and well trained at some skill or craft. So one of the things that separates people into these 2 groups, education and training. Number 1. Number 2, there is the lack of access to capital. And that's a huge separator of people. You see, there's a large number of people who have no access to money. So it doesn't matter what ideas they have. It doesn't matter what dreams they have. The lack of access to capital to make those ideas and dreams become a reality is what separates people as well. Those who have access to money, I don't know about other planets, guys, but on this planet, those who have access to money are regarded differently than those who have access to no money. And so you have education and training, the lack of education, the lack of training, and the lack of money. These are the 3 large divides that separate people. Now, some people regard education and training as being the same. It's really not. Education is more fundamental. Education is more like going to medical school and learning with books. And education in our field would be watching YouTube videos. That's education. Going to a seminar, that's education, but that's not training. Watching a YouTube video on trading is education. It is not training. All right. Education is fundamental. Education is important. Education sets the foundation. But education without training is actually useless. Learning all the medical terms that a doctor uses in class is not useful if you have not been trained to be a doctor. So while both are necessary, training is far more important than education. Training comes after education, but it is far higher on the totem pole of importance than education. And so we've got a lot of people in this industry are educated up the wazoo. They've got education pouring out of their ears, but does that mean that they're trained? They can talk to you and sound very intelligent because they have become educated, but that does not mean that you are trained. And so we need education and training. Training is what a doctor, what a medical student then, after graduating from med school, goes into an internship where they're working at an actual hospital. They're working they're working with real patients. They're administering real solutions, real medication, participating in real operations. They are dealing with sicknesses and helping to heal. Actually, it's no longer theory. It's no longer textbook. It's on the job training. And that's what a lot of people are missing in this industry. They've got education. They've read a lot of books. They've gone to a lot of seminars. They've watched a lot of YouTube videos, but they are not trained. And that is not what I want you to be. I don't want you to be one of these empty, educated people walking around here claiming that you know all that you need to know, but you can't actually put it into practice because you're not properly trained. So training is extraordinarily important. Now, if you are well-trained traders, but yet you don't have access to money, then how do you make the training useful? How do you add utility to your training? Education is useless without training. Training is useless without money, without the opportunity to apply your training with money to something. And this is the ultimate form of lack. It is a travesty. It is a crime to become educated and then to become trained but have no access to the appropriate amount of capital to turn that training into something life-changing for yourself. And so why do I talk to you about this? I talk to you about this because when I had my dream to bring professional style trading to every regular individual that I possibly could, because I started in this business as a regular individual, I realized that if I were going to do this, I have to provide these three lacks. How can I spread the gospel of trading to you or anyone else? How can I go to India and China, which I have done? How can I go throughout all of Europe, which I have done? How can I go through South America, which I've done, and all throughout the United States, spreading the gospel of trading and bringing regular individuals into this business in ways that can change their life? How can I do that if I'm not providing them with the proper amount of education, but not just there, the proper amount of hands-on training, real hands-on training, real training in the market? And most importantly, how can I do it without providing those people with money, with capital? And so when I took this huge decision, I had to sell my other firm. I had to go in a different direction because the partner that I had with my first firm did not believe in this dream. And so I sold my company, or my portion of it, and I went in this direction of wanting to educate, train, and fund the world as best I possibly can. And I've been doing this for a number of years, and the dream every single day is becoming a reality. Today, traders, today, we are over 10,000 traders strong. These traders span over 90 some odd different countries. There are obviously different levels of development and so forth and so on, but that is quite impressive. That makes us one of the biggest and most powerful organizations on the planet as it relates to this industry. All right. I continue to advise and speak for financial organizations globally. And so that is where I've come from. That, traders, is how I got involved in the markets, how that has led me to what I do today, and why I do it today. I believe that there's power in numbers. And so I want to create a powerful trading army that is spread all over the world, and that army gives us the ability to profit together in a much bigger way than we can individually. Now, I want to talk to you about things that you should know about my programs and what I do. All right, very important. And I will take some of your questions. I just want to get through this, guys. I want to talk to you about things that are important for you to know. Number one, I do not sell courses, traders. I want you to get that out of your mind. What I offer you is not a course. What I offer you is a business. I put traders in business. I am not interested in teaching you and saying goodbye at the end of a course. That is not what I do. That is not what I'm interested in. I am interested in going into business with you. I am interested in training you, educating you, and funding you. I am interested in being your Harvard University as well as your Citibank. I want to give you the proper amount of money that's necessary to do this professionally. I never want you to risk your own capital doing this. I don't want you to go the route that I went, where I lost over $700,000 trying to learn this. I don't want that for you. I don't want you risking a single penny of your capital. But I am a businessman. I want to go in business with you. Now, I want you to understand that what I do is I put traders in business. I set their business up. I put the money into their business, and we share the profits. That is what I do. I do not sell courses. I do not offer just training. I offer trading businesses. Now, I know that this is not for everyone. It's not supposed to be for everyone, traders. It's not supposed to be. All right? And so, if it's not for you, that's fine. But if you feel that playing the markets can potentially change your life the way it has changed mine and thousands upon thousands of other people, then this just might be the opportunity for you. All right? So let's understand this. What I'm offering you is not a course. I don't do that. I don't sell courses. I am offering you a trading business. I want you, if you're interested, to go into your own trading business, and I want to fund it so that you don't have to risk your family's money. That is what I do. And traders, that is how I started in the business. When I started for a firm, I got a chair at a firm. I was paid $25,000 as a base salary with incentives on my trading profits. That's not a lot of money. I mean, we were talking about the middle of the 1980s, but $25,000 base and percentages of my trading profits. Out of my $25,000, which was crazy. Well, out of my profits first came a seat charge. So as I started to become profitable, the firm would deduct a $1,000 a month seat charge. They called it a seat charge at the time. So there was a $1,000 a month fee that I had to pay the firm out of my portion of the trading profits, just for the right to have a chair, just for the right to use all the services in the firm. That's crazy. But this firm funded me. I did not have to put very much of my capital on the line. And I got started with an arrangement, not quite as good as this arrangement, but this is how I got initiated into the market as well. All right. Your entrance into this business, like all businesses, traders, you're going to have to put something up. I had to put something up. You're going to have to put something up, but that something is very small. That upfront fee helps pay for a lifetime of support and training while you develop as a trader. Traders, I want you to understand that there is nothing free on Wall Street. You know that. It costs money every single hour of your existence to train you, to develop you, to support you, the staff that supports you, the professional traders that spend time with you every hour of the trading day, making sure you're doing the right thing, making sure you're progressing, making sure you're doing what's necessary to become a better and better trader. Well, that does cost to do that. And that's what your upfront fee helps the organization continue to do for life. What I'm going to offer you today is a lifelong program, guys. There is no expiration point. Okay? This upfront fee is 100% refundable. I will talk about that. And so you can make this entire professional trading career absolutely free. You will never have to fund your trading. That will be taken care of for you. And whatever upfront fee you pay, you can get 100% of it back. Meaning that not only do you not ever have to fund your own trading, but your upfront fee goes to zero. Now, your real investment is really the trading platform. Now, think about this, guys. To be in this incredible business that requires nothing more than a laptop computer and an internet connection, a business where you are totally independent and free and can trade from any location on planet Earth anytime you want. Your cost to be in this incredible business that allows you to be done in 20 minutes or 30 minutes each day, if you like. That cost is less than $3 a day. What business allows you all the benefits that professional trading allows you? Independence, freedom, time, no need to travel, no boss, laptop computer, internet connection, and that's it for less than $3 a day. Unlimited upside. It's incredible. These are the things that attracted me many years ago and continue to attract traders every single day today. So understand that, like all businesses, there is some upfront fee. But I want you to understand, in my business program, your upfront fee will come back to you if you do the right thing. Your upfront fee is 100% refundable. And I want you to get it refunded. And once that's the case, your only cost is less than $3 a day. And your question has to be, is this an activity that can generate more than $3 a day? And if you believe that trading can generate more than $3 a day, and this has got to be for you. If you believe that it can't generate on average more than $3 a day, then it's not for you. If you believe you have the capability with the right education and training to generate more than $3 in your trading on average each day, then I believe that every single individual who believes that should give this an opportunity. It just might be the opportunity of your life. It just might change your life the way it changed mine. There are no guarantees, of course, but it just might do that. Something else, guys. So this is your business. It is not mine, what I'm about to explain to you. This is not my business. This is your business. You are starting your own business. This is a business that's in your name. You trade when you want to trade. You trade how often you want to trade. You trade from where you want to trade. You are not operating my business. You are operating your business. I am the investor in your business. I am your educator. I am your trainer. I am your mentor, but I am also your investor, making it possible for you to never risk a single penny of your own money. So I want you to understand this. I do not tell my traders when to trade. They trade when they want to trade. I do not tell them how often they need to trade. They trade as often as they want to. It's their business. I am only the trainer, the educator, their mentor, which I will educate and train you every single day of your life as long as you have my capital at your disposal. And I am your investor. I am your bank. Imagine if universities did this. You went to school for 4 years, you paid them an enormous amount of capital or money to be there to get your degree. And then at the end of graduation, they said, we're so amazed at your 4 years of education with us. We want to absolutely invest in your next business idea. Whatever it is that you want to do, we're going to put the money in. You don't have to put the money in. We're going to risk on you because we believe so explicitly in how we've educated you, how we've trained you, that we want to put our money into your future. We want to put our money into your next endeavor. What if universities did this throughout the world? They would be far more useful as far as I'm concerned. But that is what you have here. You have the university that is going to educate you and train you, and that university is going to actually convert itself into being a bank that funds your business endeavor. Both. So I am your Harvard University and your Citibank. I use Citibank just largely because it's a bank that a lot of people throughout the world know, but I am your Bancolombia or your JP Morgan or your Bank of America. You know, you get the point. All right? You get the point. Now, here is something that I'm constantly getting. Well, Oliver, what if I just want to do this myself? I like your style of training and educating. I want to learn more, but I want to trade with my own capital. I want to do it myself. And I get this all the time. I don't want to share profits with you, Oliver. I want to be 100% independent, and I want to trade my own capital. I don't want to share profits. Well, I get it, but I hope I can encourage you that that's not the most intelligent path to take. First of all, no professional trader trades with their own capital. No trader on Wall Street trades with his own capital. No professional trader at a hedge fund is trading his own capital. No professional trader at a money management firm is trading his own capital. At a mutual fund is trading his own capital. No professional trader at a bank is trading his own capital. No professional trader, even independent on his own, is trading his own capital. Only novices trade with their own capital. Only a novice real estate businessman would use all of his money to buy his houses to sell or to build his houses. No, professional businessmen, they don't use their own money. They use other people's money. Why? Because other people's money is far bigger than their money is, and they can make more when it's other people's money. I'm telling traders all the time that if you do this yourself, you have to have a minimum in your trading account at any brokerage firm that you open up in the world, TD Ameritrade, whatever, and Interactive Brokers, whatever brokerage firm you open in a trading account with. If you want to day trade, there is a law that requires that you have a minimum of $25,000 at all times in the account. If your account slips $1 below $25,000, you no longer have the right to day trade the market. This is the law. This is not a rule by the firm. This is a law, a federal law. All right, it's called the pattern day trading rule. All right, you need $25,000 of your own capital. If you use margin on that, you will pay 5 to 7% interest. 5 to 7% interest on the margin. And that is, no one's going to educate you and no one's going to train you. That's going the route on your own. Now, I was forced to go this route on my own because when I started back in the early 1990s, there were no programs, there were no seminars, there were no courses, there was no YouTube videos, there were no expositions to go to. There was nothing. You just opened up an account and you tried. You just trade and you tried and you tried. But there was no guidance. There were no mentors in the early 1980s. And so the go it your alone route is so extraordinarily more expensive, and it's more difficult, and the odds are greater against you. No one on Wall Street does this. No one. Now, if you go the route that I put traders through all over the world, instead of $25,000 or more, you need, I think this is wrong, you need $1,300, let's say. It's actually $1,600, but $1,300 to $1,600, that's it. So you go from $25,000 to needing $1,300. In addition to that, that $1,300 is 100% refundable, traders. I'll explain that. It comes back to you. That's crazy. So we go from needing $25,000 to needing $1,300. We go from paying 5 to 7% on your margin interest. If you use margin on the 25 and to day trade, you're going to need to use margin on that. So you're going to pay 5 to 7% interest on your money. All right? And you go from all of that to needing only $1,300, which is going to come back to you if you do the right thing, which is 100% refundable. And your only cost to be in the business is $2.83 per day. That's crazy to be in the best business in the world. And you'll receive training and education every single day of your life. Not for a year, not for 5 years, forever. This is not a course. This is a business. This is the Harvard University Business Program of Trading. All right. Now, what I want to do, so I believe that it is not smart to go the I do it my own route. Now, some traders say, well, Oliver, what if I have $1 million to trade with? I'd like to go on my own with $1 million. And then I say, well, okay, what if you gained access to $2 million? Wouldn't you be more profitable trading $2 million than trading $1 million, even if you gave up a little bit of your profitability? Isn't receiving less on 2 million better than receiving all on 1 million? Of course. In most cases, of course. And so this is what I'm constantly educating traders on. In business, as a general rule, and this is a business, you don't use your own capital. No professional is doing that. Only regular novice people opening up little accounts at brokerage firms use all of their money. That is not how the professional world operates. And what I'm offering you is a professional foray into this business. All right. So let me talk to you very quickly about how we do this. Okay? Now, I will be taking some of your questions, I promise. Every trader that signs on to be a family member, it signs on to take this journey with me, and it signs on to open up their trading business this way. That trader goes through training, education. That trader is constantly educated every single day through breakout sessions, training sessions, study sessions, live trading with professional traders by your side every single day, learning, developing, getting better, being guided, being mentored, being watched, being nurtured, never being alone. This trader with that education has to graduate. All right? So they will start off with training. Remember, there are two things. There's education, and then there's training, right? Okay? The two things. Education is one thing, the study sessions, the breakout sessions, the mentoring, all of that falls into the education category. The training part is here. This is where you go out into the market and you trade. You put into practice what you've been taught, what you've been trained on, what you've been educated on. And you're going to do this training with a $50,000 practice account. Now, listen carefully. You must demonstrate your ability to make $3,000. You can make this $3,000 over a long period of time or a relatively short period of time. There is no time limit on it. You can make this $3,000 goal $1 a day. All right, it would take you 3,000 days to get there, but you can do it. Okay? So I'm saying that it's not make $3,000 in a day. It's not make $3,000 in a month. It's whenever you make $3,000. Boom. Congratulations. You've graduated and become a full-fledged professional trader. And that would complete the training. So you would have the education, you'd complete the training by achieving your $3,000 goal, and here is where your business, our business, begins. That $50,000 becomes real. Which means that every time you hit the buy and sell button, here, it goes all the way to the market and then stops. That's the only difference. Here, it's for real. It goes all the way to the market and boom, connects. The only difference is that the order goes all the way through when your business starts for real. Now, at level 1, you will start off with $50,000. I am going to fund you. You do not ever have to put a single penny of your capital into this. All my funding. Now, your goal is to make $3,000. You make $3,000, you get 40% of all gains. Listen, these gains are paid out to you once a month. All right, usually around the 20th of the 21st of each month or so. 40% of the gains, 60% comes to me. All right? It's a business. We're in business together. But I am the investor. I am the funder. Whenever the investor puts money in, the investor usually earns the right to earn more. Okay? You're risking zero capital. All right, boom, you get 40%, I get 60%. Once you achieve this $3,000 goal, I put $100,000 in your account to play with. With this $1,000, your goal is now to make $6,000. You get 40% of the gains, I get 60% of the gains, right? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to make $6,000 before you get paid out. No. If this month you made $1,500, you get 40% of $1,500. If the next month you made $3,000, you get 40% of the $3,000. It is when you accumulate $6,000 in gains at this level, you go to level 3. Now I put $250,000 in your account to play with, and your goal is $10,000. You get 40%, I get 60%. Once you pass that level, and you start the big leagues with $500,000. At the $500,000 level, your goal is $25,000. Again, you get 40%. I get 60%. Now, this chart goes on and on and on. This is just enough for you to get the point. There are levels, level 5, there's all the way through level 11 traders. All right? But this is just to show you the first 4 levels. Okay? Now, some people say, well, Oliver, what's the potential here? All of that depends on you, of course. Now, I have some traders that are making, some traders are making $800 to $1,000 a day. I have some traders that are doing closer to $3,000 to $5,000 a day. Much smaller number, of course. I've got many traders doing $300 to $500 a day, $300 to $500 in an hour. But your number, if you progress, will change. It'll start off small, making $50, $60, $80, and it will grow from there. making 100 to 200, 300 to 500. These are achievable goals along the way. 500 to 1,000. And these numbers are not large at all. These are very, very ordinary numbers in the professional trading world. $1,000 to $3,000 in a day, that's extraordinarily normal in the world. No one's going to be super amazed at that. Now, guys, at my peak, I was making approximately between 38,000 and 50 some odd $1,000 an hour. Now, I'm not saying per day. When I left the street, I was doing anywhere between 38,000 and 55,000 an hour. But I had a large trading account, what some people refer to as a super large trading account. But that is what I was generating for the firm. All right. So, the sky's the limit. Everything depends on you. No one presses your buy and sell buttons except you, traders. No one. You're the buyer and seller. You're the trader. Yes, you're taught, you're educated, you're trained, but at the end of the day, you're the decision maker. Everything falls on you, and that's what I love about this business. You can't ever blame anyone else except yourself, and I would not have it any other way. I don't want to be in something where something else or someone else can ruin my chances of success. Put it all on me. I'll take 100% of the responsibility. All right? Now, someone's asking, King Odin is asking, well, Oliver, how does the loss work, the loss side work? So, traders, making $3,000 with $50,000 is not the hard part. Listen to me carefully. Making $3,000 with $50,000, that's not challenging. I mean, guys, you can actually make $3,000 in one trade in one day with $50,000. You hit the right trade at the right time, $3,000 will come like that. The $3,000 is not the challenge. You know what the challenge is? You have to make the money responsibly. You have to make the $3,000 professionally. So if you look at that chart, what you will see is something very interesting, right? You will see, guys, that you can't make the $3,000. I need a charger here. Give me a second. You can't make the $3,000 without, you can't make the $3,000 and at the same time lose a lot. So you can't lose more than $300 on any given day. That's the key. Take a look, guys. Take a look carefully. Take a look. Look at this. Take a look. Here is what makes it not so easy, traders. I will never tell you that this is easy because it's not easy. I will never say that. That's the last thing I will ever say to you. Now look at your maximum loss per day, $300. And this has actually been changed, believe it or not, $200, but that doesn't matter. You can't, $300 a day and maximum $600, right, on any given week. So you have to make the $3,000 without ever letting the account go into negative territory deeply. Once you lose $300 in any given day, you're cut off. If you lose $600 on any given week, you're cut off. If you lose $300 or more on any given day, you're cut off until the next day. If you lose $600 on any given week, you're cut off until the next week. The very best thing to do is to lose no more than $200 on any given day so that you never reach $600 on any given week and can trade every single day of the week. But the point is this, traders. You must gradually grow the account to a $3,000 gain while never letting the account drop by very much. You see, to me, losing 300 or less is not losing. That's being responsible. Losing more than 300 is real loss and being irresponsible. There's a very big difference. Losing is a permanent part of the trading game. You will always have losses to deal with. But are your losses professional losses? Are they controllable losses? And as long as they're controllable losses, I don't even look at them as losses. That's being responsible. But $1 beyond these amounts is now not being responsible. All right. And so the program, my algorithms will not allow you to destroy yourselves. My algorithms will not allow you to destroy the account. You can't take this $50,000 and blow it in one day. There are cutoffs. Tell me you understand what I'm saying. This is very important. This is how professional Wall Street firms operate. You're not allowed to do just about anything you want to and destroy the firm's money. There are limits built into your profile as a trader. Every trader has different limits. Every trader has a different profile, and you will have to operate within your profile. It's the way Wall Street works. All right? Now, Kenneth is asking, what if consistency is shown in 1 month? Well, I ask you, I would like to answer that question with a question. Would you give your family's life savings to someone that said they can make you a lot of money if you give them your family's money? And they say, because I have 1 month of good trading. No, 1 month's not enough. We need to make sure that it's not luck. We need to make sure that your progress is not a few lucky trades, a lucky period, a market environment where anybody can make money in this market environment. But what happens when this market environment changes? We've got to see a large enough data set to understand and see, unmistakably that this trader is skilled, that this doctor can operate now. Not that, a few trades and it's not enough. No one's going to give you the proper due with a limited data set. So 1 month is not enough. We need data. I need enough data from your trading to realize, wow, this trader has it. And that's business. All right? What else? What other questions? All right. You proudly trailed Myrna with the 8 MA. Beautiful. Oliver, I am self-start and I just upgraded to master trader with the fast track. Well, congratulations. That should do well for you. Okay. What else can I answer for you? How do you transfer data for tax purposes? Well, it is my fiduciary responsibility to tell you that you need to seek advice from your personal accountant. But taxes for trading are relatively simple. you get a downloadable file every single day that you can import into virtually any program that calculates taxes. So taxes are a very easy part of the trading game. But again, I have to say legally that you should seek out the proper guidance from your own tax professional, okay? Because I am not a tax specialist, just so you know. Are there any monthly fees to be paid ever? Someone said no. It depends on what you mean by monthly fee. Every professional traders, you have one cost as a trader, as a professional trader, not as a retail trader. It's different. This is the professional side of trading, guys. You will always pay for your platform and real-time level 2 data. Now, what you can do, guys, is you can Google this. Google the cost for real-time level 2 data. All right. Every professional, by law, pays for real-time level 2 data. Just Google what the cost is. And your platform. Now, most professional firms will lump the cost of the platform and the data together. That's the cost I was saying that on average is about $2.50 a day. So that $2.50 a day is your professional cost to be in this business. Now, some people say, well, Oliver, I don't pay for a platform or real-time data when I trade on Robinhood or when I trade for TD Ameritrade. That is not professional trading, and no professional day trader would use those services. All right. This is professional trading, and all professional traders throughout the entire world pay for real-time data and real-time professional platform fee. $2.30 some odd cents a day. I'm going to round it, $2.50 a day. And your question has to be, is that cost reasonable enough to be in one of the best businesses in the world? $2.50 a day. Guys, it's not even a Frappuccino at Starbucks. It's a freaking cup of coffee in some places. It's less than lunch. All right. It's less than a train ride, a bus ride to a regular job. It's nothing. When you break it down like that, it's nothing. And that's your only cost to be in this business. The only cost you will ever pay. There is no cost. There's no cost to travel. There's no cost, for parking. There's no. Just your real-time data and your platform fee, $2.38 a day. Now, one of your goals as a trader is to be profitable on average by more than that first. All right? So let me see if I can cover my $2.38 today. And then you work it up from there. Then let me see if I can be profitable by $100 a day. All right, you do that for a while. Let me see if I can press it now to $200 a day, then $300, then $500, then $800, then $1,000, then $1,500, and you stage your progress up just like that. That's how a professional trader gradually grows into the level that they need to be. They don't try to do it all at once. But we guide you in this. We direct you in this. We train you how to methodically develop step by step so that this true professional profession sticks. Now, you don't have to do this all day, traders. You don't have to trade all day. Many traders trade for the first 30 minutes of the trading day. That's my specialty. I teach my traders my specialty, my 20 to 30 minute trading style. And many traders are done after 20 to 30 minutes. There are traders who love it so much, they trade longer. They trade 90 minutes. Some traders trade all day long. That is your prerogative. This is your business. It's your trading. No one tells you when to trade, how often to trade. It's your business. The only thing is that you must operate within the structure of your profile. So if your profile says that you can't lose more than $300 on any given day, you've got to abide by that. Now, every trader in this world wants to come to me and show me their winning trades. I don't want to see a trader's winning trades. I judge a trader by how a trader loses. The winning trades are taken care of by the market. The market goes up, you did nothing but pray. I want to see how you handle losses. I'm always looking at a trader's losses. I can take a look at a row or a page of your losses and tell you exactly what kind of trader you are. Your losses speak volumes about you. Your losses tell me who you are. Your losses tell me who you are as a trader. Your losses tell me who you are as an individual, as a human being, as a husband, as a wife, as a father, as a mother, as a member of your society, as a worshiper of your God. Your losses give me a peek into your soul. They tell me everything about you. It's the trading equivalent to looking directly into your eyes to peer into your soul. I am not interested in looking at your wins, because wins can just happen without you. But professional losses take skill. Professional losses require discipline. Professional losses require diligence, constantly focused on not losing the money, not losing the money. That is what gets rewarded in the markets. Anyone can get lucky with a profit, but you can't be lucky if all of your losses are small. That's not luck. That's skill. So traders, where do a lot of traders go wrong in this business? They focus on trying to become better at making money. Wrong. You've got to become better at losing it. Making it has nothing to do with you. The market goes up all by itself. It doesn't need you to lift it up. But the market can't stop itself, traders. Listen to me carefully. The market can't stop itself. It needs you to stop it. It needs you to help it stop. It can't stop. But the market can go up without you. The market can produce profits and it doesn't need your help, but it can't stop itself. So if it is out of control, if it is lost control, if it is hurt, if it is not doing its job, if the market's not doing its job, it needs you to save it. It needs you to step up to the plate and cut the activity. And if you can't do that properly, you'll never be successful at this. Don't even waste your money. Don't even waste your time. The number one part of this game is the losing side. But 95% of the people are focused on the winning side. Wrong. That is not how Wall Street traders are taught on the floor of their firms. That's not how I was taught. That is not what I was told to focus on. You must practice losing the right way. Winning trades are like the sun. Listen to me carefully. Winning trades are like the sun. The sun shines on you. If the sun is out today, it'll shine on you whether you're a good person or a bad person, whether you're a saint or you're a devil. Winning trades will shine on you, whether you are a good trader or a bad trader. All bad traders get their share of winning trades. You can be the worst trader in the world and still get winning trades. They confuse the wins as talent, but it's luck. Winning trades happens to everyone, but you know what doesn't happen to you unless you're skilled? Small, controllable losses every time. That requires skill, that requires discipline, that requires responsibility. And if a trader shows me that, I know they're going to be a success. I know who you are and who you're going to be solely by looking at your losing trades. And so, guys, we're going to start you off the right way. The way you progress is to have a methodical approach to this, a professional approach, a journey, step by step laid out for you, level by level growth. It is not just, oh, I'm just going to hope today is a good trading day. Yeah. And I'll buy this and just pray. I mean, most people are in the markets every day hoping. Most people are in the markets every day gambling, betting on this. They heard this, so they're going to bet this way. They read this, they're going to bet that way. There's nothing methodical about their approach. There is nothing professional about what they do. There is not a journey laid out. There's no plan. There's no specific tier level of progress, nothing like that. And yet they hope or think that it's possible to progress. Guys, look, the kid in the street kicking a ball around their whole childhood might become a good soccer player one day, but not good enough for the pros. But the kids who were put in programs from the age of 3 that were trained in camps every summer, that were in professional driven programs in their schools, developing them at 8 years old and 9 years old. The ones that had coaches, the ones that put them through drills throughout their childhood, the ones that had leagues, that participated in leagues and did healthy competitions with other kids. Those have better odds of becoming professional soccer players when they reach high school years and college years. But the ones that just, Mom, I'll be back for dinner, and kicking the ball along the street with other friends and coming back for dinner, they might become decent players, but not good enough to become pros. This is not kicking the ball in the street haphazardly. This is a professional style program that puts you through step by step a methodical process to become good at this. And that's the only way to do this. No one on Wall Street is going to say, yeah, come on in, here's $50 million, go knock yourself out, see what you can do with it. Nobody's going to do that. You understand? So, Luis Silva, 21. Luis Silva, 21. I'm glad you're here. So guys, today is Black Friday. Listen, you are with a pioneer in this space. You are with someone who has trained hundreds, thousands of people all over the world. Some of the top traders in this industry with their own businesses today have gone through me. They may not tell you, but guys, I've been training professional traders from 1994. Barron's ranked my training the #1 in the United States. I today continue to speak all over the world for different organizations. Why? Because of my pedigree, because of what I've accomplished in this industry, because of when I started, how I started, and what I got done. This is a life-changing activity. It provides those 3 lacks that I explained to you, that I told you, that I talked to you about. It provides education, it provides training, it provides the capital. These are the things that are missed. All right? These are the things that are missed in most things in this industry. They lack the proper education, they lack the proper training, they lack the organizational approach to progress. It's not training and guidance every single day forever, and there's no money to be accessed. Most businesses fail because they don't have access to the right amount of capital. And trust me, guys, if you're playing on the day trading side in particular, with anything less than $50,000, your odds are so low, you probably should just do something else. I mean, because even $50,000 is small. It's a good start. It's a good place to become trained. But your goal is to reach $500,000, $1 million, $2 million. But less than $50,000, I am telling you that your odds are extraordinarily low. Trading with a small amount of capital forces you to trade wrong. It forces you to be fearful when you're not supposed to be fearful. It forces you to get out of trades you're not supposed to be getting out of. But because your margins are so razor thin, because your account is so small, every little wiggle and jiggle of the stock causes you to have to react. And that builds bad habits. Those bad habits guarantee failure. Without the proper amount of capital, you have almost a zero chance at progress at this. It is the wrong thing to do. It is the wrong thing to say, I'm going to get good with a little bit of capital and then I'll join your program, Oliver. Wrong. You get good here. You get good without destroying your own capital, because loss is first. When a kid picks up a soccer ball for the first time in their life, they're not good at it. You're not supposed to be good at it. When an infant tries to walk for the first time in their life, they're not good at it. When you pick up a golf club for the first time in your life, you're not good at it. When you try to speak a new language for the first time in your life, you're not good at it. You're never good at something you start for the first time in your life. So loss has to happen first. Why go through that with your own capital? If you know you're going to fall, pick yourself back up, and do that for a while until you gradually get better, why go through that and lose account after account like I did for the first 6 years? Now, it doesn't take 6 years to do this. It took 6 years because back in the early 80s, there was no one, there was no guidance, there was no training, there were no courses, there were no programs, there was no access to the right amount of capital. I had to start off with little amounts of capital, which made the game a lot harder, a lot more difficult. All right? All right. Any other question? Latam question. Is there a time limit for being funded? What if it takes you more than 90 days? Doesn't matter. It can take you a year. If you reach graduation in a year, congratulations. 2 years, congratulations. 6 months, congratulations. There's no time limit. It's whenever you hit that mark. There have been traders that have gone on to be some of my best traders that took a while to graduate, actually. And that makes sense. They played the game longer. They got more practice in. They gained more experience before, boom, that graduation, and they took off. So, guys, let me explain to you very quickly here. I'm going to let you go really soon, I promise. But let me explain to you very quickly how you make this program absolutely free. You see, traders, once you graduate, you're here. If you have paid $1,600 for this program, $1,600 for this program, let's say, you're going to get paid 100% of your profits until this is all the way back in your pocket again. I will not take my share until your $1,600 has been recouped. So you will get paid out 100% of this until $1,600 is back. After $1,600, what you've paid as your entrance fee to get into this business, once you've paid this, once this has come back to you, that is when I will take my 60% and you get 40%. So your first goal should be to graduate. That's goal number 1, graduate. Goal number 2, Get your fee back. Goal number 3, make us a fortune. Those are your 3 goals. Graduate. All right. Get your fee back. And then make us a fortune. Those are the 3 steps. All right. But you can make this program for free. Now, I told you that there's Black Friday, right? Now, let's go over this very quickly. All right, let's go over this very quickly here, guys. We got Black Friday going on here. Now, the program, the most popular program for this is called Self Trader. It's usually $1,700, but we are in Black Friday time, right? So this price is very special now, but only for this weekend, only through the end of this weekend, right? So the Black Friday price is $997, is $1,000. Guys, I never do this for $1,000. This is the only week or weekend that I ever do the price here. So I promise you with everything I own that after this weekend, you will never see this price again. Never. Never. Okay? So it's the opportunity. Now, guys, as I mentioned to you on many occasions before, let's say you're going to dedicate 5 years to this, and you should, a minimum of 5 years. Break that cost up over 5 years. That's crazy, traders. That's how my mother taught me to think of things of value, right? You break that up over 5 years. There's 365 days in a year, right? So you got 365 days. So you're going to take 990, you're going to take 365, right? Times 5, and you're going to come up with 1,825 days in 5 years. All right? Now you're going to divide 997 divided by 1,825. That's 54 cents. Your cost for this is 54 cents a day. Now think of it. You're going to invest a cup of coffee in the best business of the world that potentially can change your life. There are no guarantees. I will never tell you that. But my God, is it worth 54 cents a day to try? Yes, it does. To be fully funded for life, starting at 50,000, going all the way into the millions, if you should progress that way, to never risk another penny of your family's capital at this, the chance to really get into this game professionally. Guys, we're in very strange times. There is no other time more suited to be an independent trader today. It is perfect. All right. So for 54 cents a day, over 5 years, that's the way I would look at it. Now, remember, you can get 100% of that cost back. Once you graduate, you get 100% of all gains until that's back in your pocket. Then you get 40% and I take 60%. But get this, if you sign up for the Black Friday special, I'm going to give you 60%. And I will take the 40%. Now, you can't ask for anything better than that. I'm going to take the minority part of the business. You're going to have the majority payout on the business. You will get 60% of all gains. You will get 100% of all gains up to the 997. Once you have made this program free, guys, there are traders who make 997 in a morning. I'm telling you. They're here right now with you. Some of these traders have made 2,000 in a day, 1,500 in a day, 3,000 in a single day, 997. Do you know how potentially fast that's going to come back to you? 997 is not a lot to get back in trading. Okay, so you can make this program free. Once it's free, you will get 60% of the gains. That's you. And I will take 40% of the gains. Now, traders, a lot of traders say, well, Oliver, why do you do this? All right. Why do you travel the world? Well, I don't travel the world now, but you know what I'm saying. Why do you speak to people all over the world? Why are you recruiting? Are you recruiting for the 997? Now, traders, I want you to understand that while this is business, all right, I'm a nice guy, but I am not doing this for philanthropy. I'm not doing this to be nice. I am doing this because I want to go in business with you and I want to make a lot of money. That's just the bottom line. Let me give you an example. There's a company called SAC Capital, SAC, SAC Capital. All right. If you've seen the show Billions, Billions was loosely formulated on this, was the real backdrop behind the series Billions is SAC Capital, Steve A. Cohen. SAC Capital had groups of traders come on board with a structure just like this. They were taught a specific approach to the markets. They were each given a portion of SAC Capital's money, each trader. Each trader got a percentage of their trading profits, and SAC Capital, the firm, got the other percentage. The first year of their experiment with this, they made $1.8 billion. Wow. $1.8 billion. The second year, all right, they pushed that profitability over $3 billion. Year number 2 in the experiment. It's crazy. The third year, they were off. Honestly, they were off. Instead of topping $3 billion, they topped $2.8 billion. So they were off on the third year. It's crazy. There's power in numbers. I want to give you an example. I teach you how to play a specific tactic. All right. Many of you have seen that, have been exposed to some of the tactics that I teach. I teach you this tactic. You're trading that tactic in Microsoft right now. Boom. But what about the tactic occurring in Twitter or Facebook or Apple or Starbucks? You understand? There are opportunities happening simultaneously all over the market. Opportunities that if you were there, you would have done it, but you weren't there. You were over here. You were in Microsoft, but if you were at the moment in Twitter, you would have taken that, but you weren't. You were doing Microsoft. I want you doing Microsoft, and I want, let me pick a name here. I want Best Start doing Twitter. I want Louis Silva 21 doing Facebook. I want this trader doing Starbucks. I want this trader doing QCOM. I want this trader doing MU. I want this trader doing JPM. I want this trader doing Apple. Do you understand? I don't want to miss anything. While I'm trading Alibaba, You can be trading something else. I can't grab this something else if I'm occupied with Baba at the moment. And so the team approach means profitability goes through the roof. So now my capital is spread out over the entire market. If I have you covering Twitter, another person covering Facebook, another trader covering QCOM, another trader covering Starbucks, another trader covering here, and I spread you all out over the market, we miss nothing. This is why I do this. Because no matter how good I get, I'm only one person. But I don't want to be one person. Every good business person starts thinking about how can I multiply? How can I leverage my capability? How can I expand on what I'm doing? There's a certain point where you have to start expanding through others. You have reached the limit of what you can do, so now you duplicate what you do through the help of others. That's what this is about. This is the SAC capital model. I'm not the only one who's doing this or have done this. This is what it's about. It's not about your $9.97. Guys, I do need to defray costs. I've got professional traders that will not sit down with you unless I pay them. They will not answer your questions. They will not train you. You wouldn't do it either. You would not take time away from your successful trading to deal with a group of traders unless you were being compensated for it. This is a business. There's cost associated with supporting you. There's cost associated with getting every single one of your questions answered. If your technology is having issues, there's a cost to have a support team take care of you, make sure you're okay. That helps me defray part of the cost while you are becoming a good trader. Because remember, you're not producing anything in the beginning of your development. So yes, but you are also offered the opportunity to get all of that back, which should be a driving motivator for you. I'm going to get my costs back. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to focus on keeping my losses small. I'm going to get that cost back. This is going to cost me nothing. I want that to drive you. I want that to be your motivation. All right. And so, guys, you've got 72 hours more or less to make sure that if this is something you want to do, you get this price, the lowest price of the year to enter. Now, once you become a family member, you start your journey. I'm willing to bet that a percentage of you who start this today, you will create a year 2021 like no other year in your life. This happened to me. It has happened to hundreds of traders in our program. You have the ability to make 2021 very different, far better than 2020 has been. And we start today. We start this journey today. And at the very least, guys, listen to this. What if you don't make it? What if you're not successful at this? What if you decide one day, 3 years from now, what have you? This is not for me. I gave it my best shot, but it's not for me. It's possible. Okay? I didn't do that, but it's possible. Will you have lost? Absolutely not. For 3 years, we will have spent every single day together. You will have learned, you will have gotten educated about how markets operate, how to deal with them. You may not be able to do it within this structure, you may not be able to have done it in this structure, but you will have become a better individual, a more responsible individual, a more knowledgeable, a more trained individual. And there is something spiritual about this activity, guys, because you can't become better at trading unless you become better as a human being, because this activity is all about becoming more responsible. How can becoming more responsible as a trader not spill over into other areas of your life? Become more responsible as a trader, you become more responsible as a human being, as a father, as a mother, as a student, as an employee, as an employer, as anything. What you do in trading spills over into every other part of your life. You can't become more disciplined in trading and not become more disciplined in something else. You can't learn how to control risk in trading and not learn how to control risk in other things in areas of your life. All right? You can't learn how to cut your losses and not learn how to cut your losses in real life, like a bad relationship or whatever. This path is not just about buying something for $1 and selling it for $2. It's deeper than that. There's a spiritual element to it. You're improving who you are as well. So I believe that whether or not you become some huge trader in the future or not, that this is still life-changing in a certain way. I know that for those of you who are just entering into this industry, it's hard for you to determine who's real, who's not, who's authentic, and who isn't, because you don't have time here. You haven't had an opportunity to really find out what's good, what's bad, what's real, what's not real. So for you, I tell you, go by your feelings. Do not go by websites. Do not go by slides like I show you. Go by your heart. Go by your feelings. If someone makes the hairs on the back of your neck rise when they speak to you, that is something to pay attention to. If someone creates aha moments in you, wow, I never looked at it that way, that's meaningful. If someone makes the light bulb in your mind and your brain go off every now and then, that's something that's meaningful. Those are the signs you follow. You don't follow words on a slide or on a website. All right? Go by your gut. Go by your feeling. All right? That usually never betrays you. I want you to know that whether you join my family or not, traders, all right, I am still your trader for life. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. I want to thank you for giving me the most precious commodity that you have, which is actually your time, traders. I know that you can be doing something with your family. I know you could be out in the park, walking your dog, at the mall, watching television, whatever it is that you do, but you're here with me, and it's something that I never take for granted. I make sure that I take a moment out of every single event to thank you for this, because it is something that's very precious to me. Traders, I am your trader for life. And whether you decide to come on board with me or not, I still want to let you know that I care about you if you have an interest in trading. I want you to try to do this the right way. So you make sure that you like this video. You make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. You make sure that you continue to consume the daily content that I'm putting out right here. This will help you grow. It is not funding. It is not the professional path toward becoming a professional trader, but it's something, and it's something that has value as well. So just because you may not become a member of my family does not mean that we say bye at this particular point. All right? I am still your trader for life. Love you guys. Boom. Yeah. Love it. Woo. Yeah. Guys, just so you know, this event was to try to handle in one event so many of the questions that were exploding on our platforms, and I felt this was the most efficient way to do it because many of them are repetitive questions. So I just sort of talked about things that touched upon the vast majority of the questions I got out there. So that's what I wanted to accomplish today, and I hope I did that. Let's do this, traders. Let's make 2021 an amazing year. Follow me. Subscribe to the channel. Click that bell in the upper right-hand corner. I put something out for you every single day of the year. For those of you who are ready, and for those of you who already have, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Love you. Let's trade together. Let's move into the future together. Let's do this the right way, not the novice way. Anto, thank you for being here. Danny M, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Leslie Savage, thank you. Niall, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Danny M, Kerman Charles, Alejandro Rodriguez, Louis Palsis, Peter Genovese, Punjaban. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Alejandro, welcome, man. Welcome to the family. I love it. Andres Jimenez, I'm glad you're here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Attila, thank you. Oregon. Where are you guys from? Where are you from? "72 hours, guys. 72 hours. Akash, you appreciate my dedication. I appreciate your attendance. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you too. Let's do this, guys. Let's do it.